together.
Sure.
Phone or whatever we got. Do.
Oh, I didn't get the phone.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay.
Let the record show all members are present. Consent agenda.
This is rather confusing. It was, last year was the first year we did it.
Yeah, they're
The
new.
number you have dialed is not in service.
The new
Please check the
rules.
number and try your call again. Thank you.
New rules that legislators put out. After discussion was held by the board, a motion was made and seconded to approve the consent agenda.
You are currently the only person in this conference.
All of the consent agenda.
Supervisor Schultz, thank you. Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
Supervisor Groby, second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all.
Are you postponing the proclamation?
Yes.
Maybe say that.
Yeah, and we're gonna postpone the proclamation until later this month. Okay. Anything else? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes. Okay. I need a motion to open a public hearing on the maximum property tax levy for fiscal year ending June 30, 2022.
I'll make that motion.
Okay. Okay, public hearing is open. The max levy for 2022 is $3.36, $9.48. Is that correct?
That's for the rural.
Yeah,
Okay.
the other ones are on here.
Well, they are on there, but they're combined. The general and general
Is
sub.
that how they wanted them combined?
That's how this form is. And this is just the max. This is not what we are actually
And
asking.
these are actually, so,
I can give you the breakdown if you want.
well, do we just, this notice of public hearing of the property tax levy, approve this form? The state form that we have to use?
It was published.
Right.
The max levies were published. Now it's just a public hearing on those.
Right.
It's basically a dog and pony show to satisfy a couple of legislators
Right.
from a couple of years ago.
So is there anybody on the thing or on the phone that wants to speak to this matter?
No, but just for clarification, so we're at, it's shown on here 714, right? For the general services. If you break that down between general basic, general supplemental, general basic is gonna be 376, general supplemental will be 338.41. So, you have those extra 0.1 of a penny there, which totals up to be 714.
Okay.
So it
That's the max levy, but
yeah, it's max. That's max levy. That's not what we're looking to do.
So, any other discussion? Get a motion to close public hearing?
I'll make that motion.
Well, we never roll called to open.
Oh,
Sorry.
Speak up.
Well, it's my Monday.
Okay.
Chairman Bell.
Aye.
Supervisors Groby?
Yes.
Wickman? Schultz?
Aye.
Shay. All right, now the public hearing is open.
Okay. Anything else for the public hearing? This is our max levy, we're gonna go down from there. We can't go up from there. Okay, motion to go out of the public hearing.
I'll make that motion.
Okay. Need a second?
I'll second.
Second, thank you. Okay, roll call.
Chairman Belt?
Aye.
Supervisors Groby?
Yes.
Wickman? Shay?
Aye.
Schultz?
Aye.
I need a motion and a second to approve and authorize the board to sign Board Resolution 16, 2021, entitled "A Resolution Approving Pot County's Property Tax Levy for Fiscal Year Ending June 30th, 2022.
So moved.
Mr. Schultz, thank you. Supervisor Schultz. Second.
I'll second.
Thank you, Supervisor Groby. Any discussion?
No.
Hearing none, roll call.
Chairman Belt?
Aye.
Supervisors Wickman? Aye. Groby? Schultz?
Aye.
Shay.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay. Now we're going on to Jason Slack. Contract, CO number 4, contract update.
This is just adding the previously approved change orders to the overall contract. HGM just needs a signature.
Okay. Got a motion
I'll second.
and a second on contract number 4. Supervisor Whitman, second by Supervisor Schultz. Any other discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes. Okay. Moving right along to number 2, CRC 039, add ground floor conduit in preparation for addition.
What this is, the general contractor, the electrician on the job, had it kind of worked out to where they thought that we should install the 2 4-inch conduits running from our main electrical gear in the direction of the addition, in order to avoid working in the comm center once it gets occupied. It was supposed to have just given us they would have installed the conduit now, so it wasn't invasive later on when we did the addition. Since then, actually yesterday, we did some research and talked with HGM, we talked with the engineer. We think it'll be probably more beneficial to us to just directional bore out of the building into the electrical room in the addition, rather than do this change order, so I'm gonna recommend that we decline it.
So moved.
I'll second.
Well, that tip board, that'll be part of the next
Yeah.
phase in the construction, right?
Yes.
Thank you, Jason.
Okay, so the ground floor conduit for $20,793.47 is, the motion is to deny, correct?
Yep, that's correct.
And and you seconded that,
Yeah.
okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, say aye.
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 Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes. Okay, moving right along, the CRC 044 boiler room keel switch relocation.
This one was kind of new to me when I seen it. It looks like the kill switches are located inside the room. It appears they need to be located outside of the room, so that's what this change order is for apparently.
That's your recommendation?
Yes.
They're there already, but they're just on the inside and just need to be put on the outside.
Correct.
Was that,
It's got to be a code issue.
right, so was that something that HCM should have,
Yeah, I believe it's something ETI should have caught.
oh, okay. Okay,
I'm really curious on that one, but.
Oh, my.
who made the motion?
I did.
You did? Too? Supervisor Wickman. And
Do you guys have a PLC or anything that monitors that outside of?
I don't know.
Was there a
Is there
second?
any, no,
Okay.
I'm just curious if there's, I'll second it so we can get it discussing, but is there any kind of automation or anything that monitors that outside of that room?
The outside of the boiler room?
Yeah, so is there anything that monitors that boiler on the fly? There's
Yep.
no computer software that you can adjust the boiler when you need to?
Oh, yeah, there is. We have a building automation system that completely controls all of the HVAC.
What I'm wondering, where I'm going with this question is why, I'm curious why we have to have that kill switch outside of that room if you're able to manipulate that from the software.
Well, if you're outside the room and you notice that there is a present danger, you can't get to a computer fast enough to hit that kill switch. So say you walk into the boiler room and you see that one of the boots for one of the pumps is ruptured and you've got water spraying everywhere in that room, you wanna hurry up and hit that kill switch, shut down.
Why where I work, the kill switches are inside, and so
Well,
I'm wondering why that's.
Our kill switches are inside our boiler rooms at the jail too. And I don't know,
I don't know.
yeah, if it's a new thing, so.
It's fine, it's not that big a deal.
Have you talked to HGM about it?
I have not talked to HGM
It
about
seems like
this
the best
particular
practice,
one.
but I would hate if you're in there, realize there's a problem, and then you have to go outside the room now and go find the kill switch, so it needs to be
Right,
obviously right by the door or somewhere,
correct.
you know, you can get to it. Is that what they're planning to do?
Yes,
Just put it on the other side of the wall?
yes.
Okay.
Well, I'd put an asterisk by that if the code changed in between the time we started and till today, so. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. Okay, CRC 045, remove painting of ground floor ceiling.
Basically, that's the ceilings in the basement in our storage room, where we've got all of our, building supplies, located. I didn't see a reason to paint the ceiling in there. It's also the ceiling in the mechanical room. I don't see a reason to paint the ceiling in there either. And the other room is just a little closet, so.
What's that saving us if we don't?
21 there, so
Looks like 192474.
21, that bid was 21.
Oh, okay. I must have
That's
lowered
what I
it.
see.
On our agenda, it says 192474.
Oh, no.
Is that right?
Yep,
Yep.
that's right, 1924, 7.
Okay. Did I get a motion?
Why do they want to paint it in the first place?
I don't know.
I mean, does it help
It's
do
aesthetics.
anything?
It's purely aesthetics.
Doesn't help with light or anything like that?
Not necessarily, no.
This is only occupied by basically you, right?
Correct. It's a storage room and a mechanical room.
Right. No general public.
No.
That's your recommendation, Jason, to deduct the painting?
Yes, it is.
So move.
I'll second.
Thank you Supervisor Wickman, motion, seconded by Supervisor Schultz. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes. Okay, CRC 046, control room changes.
So Sam Archfelt decided to make some changes in the control room, that was formerly our maintenance garage. Which took away a door, took away a window, which gave us a credit. So that's all this one is.
Okay, so you're crediting us $4,088.29.
Correct.
Okay.
So moved.
Motion, okay, by Supervisor Schultz, second by Supervisor Shea. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes. CRC 047, door 034 changes jail pipe chase.
So there's a pipe chase in between two jail cells that they're building in our old wood shop area. They had access control on the pipe chase door, which I didn't see that was necessary. I told them to go ahead and remove it. We'll operate that door with a manual key. So this is a credit.
Supervisor Shea, motion. Get a second.
I'll second it.
Supervisor Schultz. Any other discussion? The deduct of $515.90. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes. Okay, CRC 026 or 026R, 2-hour ceiling at Hall 040.
Hall 040 is a hallway that is an egress hallway from in stairwell S2. So that kind of backs up to the jail elevator. You go up the stairs, you go down this hallway and go through a door and you go outside on the south side of the building. The hallway has like a 26-foot ceiling. That wasn't known at the time by HGM when they demoed that. They weren't going to put a ceiling in there, but now that they figured out, well, it's a 26-foot high ceiling, we don't want to have to heat that whole space. So we want to put a ceiling in there to kind of cut our heating costs down.
Sure, seems to miss a lot of little things.
Well, this, in their defense, I mean, this is something that, probably needed to be field verified. It's something they had a hard pan ceiling in it before. It would have been difficult to see.
I'll make motion for approval. I'll second.
Supervisor Schultz, second by Supervisor Shea. So you'll put the ceiling height at what, 10 foot or?
It'll be something like 8 foot, right in there, 7, 8 foot.
Okay. I mean, you won't be wanting to bring anything out, in and out of that hallway.
No, it will not be used. Yeah.
Strictly more of an exit type situation?
Yeah, all the doors going into it are gonna be alarmed, so it's gonna be emergency egress only.
Okay, so that's an add of $2,219.11. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes. Okay, the last one is change order for parallel technology for 2 exterior cameras at the annex building.
So this is for the county security upgrade project. This will be the separate project. 2 of the cameras that are mounted on the soffits of the annex building are old. They won't play well with our new system. So this is the quote to get 2 new cameras put up there. We'll install them ourselves. This is just the quote for the cameras themselves. So
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it. Is there money left in that?
there is, so far we're good. Yep, we're keeping an eye on that too, so.
Supervisor Shea and seconded by Supervisor Groby. So those cameras, we will reallocate them somewhere else.
They're old Honeywell cameras that are,
No,
Oh.
these new ones, as we move forward, not knowing what we're gonna do with some of these.
You're saying it's at the annex or?
yeah, these 2 cameras in this change order, yeah, they'll go on the north and south side soffits of the annex building
Right.
to get those views. So, we did have, Bob and Sam kind of canceled out some of the cameras that we were putting in the comm center itself, so we do have a little stockpile of interior cameras that we can use other places, so.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes. Okay, John Rasmussen, County Engineer, discussion and or decision to approve right-of-way purchase contract with Keith and Mark Bentley for project STBG swap CO 78, parent 204, parent -FG -78.
So moved.
Okay,
No second.
What's the cost?
Supervisor Wickman.
900 bucks, I think.
Supervisor
Oh,
Roby.
I'm sorry, 758.
Where's this at, John?
This is on L66, on the south project we're gonna be working on. We needed a little bit more room at a pipe to replace it.
Is that an intersection or not?
No, it's on the main line of L66. It's a crossroad pipe.
Okay. For drainage purposes,
Yes.
yeah. Okay, any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes. Okay, now it's Matt White, Planning and Zoning Director, Pam Calstrip, Acting Director, Mark Hughes, Jim Hughes, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
And discussion and/or decision on potential rural development. Who wants to kick this off?
I can kick it off for you. So this follows up on our conversation that we had last week in regards to the county potentially supplying rural water into that area of Pioneer Trail and 240th Street, along with some other conversations we've had on the potential paving of 240th Street south of Highway 92 down to this area. And during those conversations, we know that we have the Heartland Property Group that is currently in development on their housing area that they have ongoing. And there was a potential, from conversations I had with Mark and his design group on what they were already doing with the chunk of land they bought on the corner of 240th Street and Pioneer Trail. And I'll let them talk to about it a little bit more on that side of what their interest was in it. And at the time, you all requested that we invite them up to the Board of Supervisors so that you could hear from them. So I'll introduce to you Jim Hughes and Mark Hughes.
Thank you. My name is Mark Hughes. That's my father, Jim Hughes, and John Jorgensen with HDM we brought with us. Here is a potential map or concept drawing that John Jorgensen from HDM
Okay, great, thank
drew
you.
for us.
thanks, sir.
You made the public one a copy? Basically, what you're looking at is a 235 acre parcel with 99 proposed lots with an average size of 2.37 acres. All of this is subject to change, but for now, that's what the conceptual drawings show. And when I mean it's subject to change, that's our original drawing. If we did have city water out there, maybe our lots could be a little smaller, maybe we'd end up with more lots, but that's the current drawing that John at HGM put together. The property is owned by Jim and Monica Hughes, and John Jorgensen at HGM has been hired to do the conceptual drawings, and you guys have the map. John Jorgensen from HGM believes the lots that are in red, if you look at that map, you'll see lots that are in kind of a brownish color, lots in red. We believe the lots in red can be split out before subdivision has to be done. It is our intent to get the lots that are colored in red marked by Lonnie Mayberry at Land Survey Services and confirm that we like the way the lots lay out and the driveways work. Lonnie is currently hired to get those staked, and he acts like it's supposed to be done this week. We plan on building houses on the lots that you see in red and see what type of demand we have before we move forward and work on completing the other 82 lots in phases. And those other 82 lots could grow in size of lots if rural water was available out there. Basically, thank you for the interest in the project. We look forward to discussing the project with you and working on what we can do to make this a successful project. We're interested to know that if you plan on running city water out there, what services as a county you guys help pay for? Will you work with us on a TIF program? And are there any tax incentives available? Another follow-up question would be, are there any county programs available for internet out to that area? We're down at Mills County, and all over the county, they're running fiber everywhere. And again, I don't know if that's going on up here, but that's kind of what we got going. We purchased a property in October at auction. We got a hold of John immediately, asked for conceptual drawings. We also purchased 38 acres across the road. Been working with Pam on that, and we've got that split in half into two 19-acre parcels. And I told 3 people about those two 19-acre parcels, and 2 of them bought them. So we feel the demand would be pretty high up in that area, and we're excited about the project. Any questions I can answer for you?
Across the road, Mark, which road?
You'd be to the west.
Okay.
Yeah, we purchased 38 acres. And to be completely honest about it, I'm kind of disappointed that we were able to take 38 acres of land and only divide it in half and make 2 lots. But unfortunately, that's the way the rules are, and that's the rules we have to play by. And I thought it'd been a great place for 5 or 6 houses through there, but the current rules only allowed me to split that 38 acres in half and make 2 19-acre lots.
Even if they would have done a major subdivision?
It's a gravel road.
Where's that one at?
I'll show you. It's just to the west, which will be at the bottom of your map. Well, Brian's, he's got his up here at the top, so it's this chunk here. On yours, it's this chunk here.
There, so.
Now, what do we need to do for ordinances to change that?
Well, I think we're pretty good on ordinances there, because it really is driven off of the road type. And
Okay.
so that being a section of gravel road,
This is number
you don't,
3 is what
you
this
don't,
map
you
shows.
kind of have to limit your homes on
And then
those style of roads.
the 38 acres would be across the street. At the Brandt family auction, when all the land sold, this is a survey map of all of it. The parcel in blue would be what your map is.
So you guys bought these 2.
The parcel in yellow would be the small 38 acres.
So this is
Thank you, sir.
Scoop's house right there then?
I don't know who lives there.
That's one of the brands.
Okay,
so, yeah.
but this is a 38 acres that I purchased.
Okay.
And that I was only able to buy.
Do you know if Telcom works down in that area?
I think that they have Cox down in there.
So small. and just-
I think that's what Heartland Properties is working with.
Yeah, if you can pave that stretch, you can open up both those.
Well, they've already sold them.
What?
They've already.
They bought it.
The two 19-acre, the 38 acre parcel across the street, on that map you have right there,
Oh, you sold the 2 19-acre.
the two 19-acre parcels we sold, I told 3 people about it and 2 of them purchased it. I mean,
Oh,
so we kind of feel the demand's high up in that area. Yeah, parcel 1 on the map that's shaded in yellow. We were able to work with Pam and we're in the process of getting that split in half, but we have 2 buyers already lined up for those 2 parcels.
They're gonna build single-family homes on there, no development?
No development, single family homes is the intention, yep.
pretty hilly there.
And it's my understanding that I couldn't split it more than once due to the fact that it was on a gravel road.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what, I mean, I'll just run this by you. Hypothetically, let's just say hypothetically we paved 240 Street and went all the way south. What kind of potential, and water obviously, what kind of potential do you see for further development in that area?
Well, it's my understanding at the corner of the property we own, you're paving all the way to Highway 92. I've heard that, is that correct?
Yeah, we're talking
So we're looking at,
south of it even of that too.
Well, that's one of the questions we have. Again, John did the drawings for us, so he'd have to answer how that could change our project, but we'd love to see that come to the end of this property, so.
So like what we're looking at is paving from 92 straight south till they hit the county line.
Yep.
So
to the county line.
pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I mean, we could probably, I don't know if Mills County would want to work with it. They may want to take it further yet, but I don't know.
okay.
I'm not sure. I haven't had a conversation with the other supervisor anyway, but where that intersects with, what is that, Applewood Road?
Okay.
Keith Fame owns that farm right there in the corner. I mean, there's just a lot of different, I personally see a lot of potential in that area if we could get you the infrastructure. But I guess I'm asking you.
Well, I can tell you that we were involved with a property that my uncle Mike Hughes owned, that's just south of Council Bluffs. south of Lewis Central, a couple miles, right south of where those Dallas Jansen greenhouses are.
Yeah.
And let's say that's been 12, 15 years ago, I don't know the exact date, but my brother Alan and Uncle Mike Hughes split off about 10 lots, and they were extremely popular. They all sold basically immediately. It seems like when any of those come up for sale, they sell it right away. They were in the Lewis Central School District that seemed popular. So that's one of the reasons I'm so excited about this project, is because we had such good success 10 or 15 years ago on that project, so.
John Rasmussen, I got a question I raised the other day about the turn at Pioneer Trail. That concerns me. I think something needs to happen there. We'll have a lot of heavy traffic there. Can we do a left-hand turn lane there?
If the traffic warrants, require that, hopefully a lot of these people are gonna take 240th north
But
to,
if their kids are
92.
going to Lewis Central,
they'll be going everywhere, yeah.
they'll be going right down Pioneer Trail.
Like, when you want a turning lane, you want a left-hand turning lane?
Yeah, onto Pioneer Trail.
There's almost already room there. Honestly, you're almost there with the cement as is. You just have to probably add a little bit more. And you did that, you redid that, maybe, I don't know if you were around when you did that, but years ago.
It was still DOT when that got redone
Yeah,
with
so that
the
whole
bridge and stuff.
corner was widened up. I mean, it's, you may be able to actually just make it work.
Yeah, we'd have to look at that.
That's just a concern of mine. If we do 88 homes and then 99, actually 101 with those two others.
Mark,
Yes,
if I can ask.
Yeah.
All of these lots are pretty much platted out at about 2 acres apiece. If
Correct.
you're able to get rural water in there, would you make those parcels smaller?
I believe we would. And again, we haven't drawn that map, but me and John discussed yesterday about it. My father talked about it also. What exact size that would be, I know down in Glenwood or Mills County, there's a subdivision called Lake Ohana, and those lots are an acre, and they have city water, and we put septics on them, and it seems to be working fine. I know up in Pot County, we have the rule that if you put a septic system in, there needs to be enough space for a second system to go in.
Right.
So how all that would lay out, I guess that would be more Matt and John looking at that, what size lot would work, but,
They're 1 acre lots. When you have water, it's 1 acre lots.
okay, and the room for 2 septics?
Mhm.
Okay,
Your
so,
roads that you drew in here, was there any, was that based on anything, or was it just so you can get your 2 acre lot sizes when you did it?
Yeah, 2 acre lot size, maximize the number of lots.
So if you went 1 acre, would you change your road structure? in the
Yeah,
front?
you'd have to.
and then I think the project also was designed to be coming off the paved road, because it has to come off the paved road. And at that time, there's only one paved road to come off of. But
Yeah.
if the paved road went further south, that might give more options or more ways to loop out of that addition too.
Right.
Matt, what concerns have you got?
I don't have any concerns about the subdivision. We are in a position in Potawatomi County where we need more homes. I mean, the real estate market is showing it right now. There's 30 homes listed for sale currently in Council Bluffs and in even less in our exterior communities, and that they're not selling because they don't have a place to go. And until we give people a place to go and build more homes, then we can't have that turnover in housing that's needed. So there are that group of individuals out there currently right now that are realistically sitting in homes that want to move, want to build something bigger, have a little bit more of a acreage feel to it, be in those school districts. Lewis Central School District is still very popular. The Trainer School District's right across the road from this place. So even though while the majority of the property does sit in the Lewis Central School District, I would foresee a number of these people open enrolling to Trainer School District and just wanting to be that much closer to it. So, and it's outside of our 2 mile area with the city of Council Bluffs. And so it's far enough away from the city of Council Bluffs where the concerns on their side kind of fall off. It allows us to create this little bit of a development pocket for housing in that area. And I mean, if we're gonna do it, now's a good time to at least be able to say, let's get the infrastructure there and allow these developers, time to come in. We have worked with our developers since 2016, holding meetings with them, trying to encourage different development, strategies. We've altered our codes to make development a little bit more friendly, and, having a new developer, Mark and Jim, I grew up in Mills County. They have done a number of developments down in Mills County. All of them turned out very well for the community. And so I don't have any qualms about them coming up here. I think it's fabulous to lure them up here and say, model what you've done in Mills County and let's bring it up here and do the same. So I think it's good to get some outside people coming into the county wanting to do something. We can't ask for much more.
Are you, I guess always hinges on the water cut question, but are you gonna put like a minimum lot value or anything on it? As far as like the home that's gonna be there, is it need to be appraised at like a $500,000 home, for example, or?
Well, I'll give an honest opinion of the current map that we have. I would say with the current map that we have, houses would start around the 450 range and go up.
Yeah.
But that could change if lots were smaller, but under the current map or plan, that would be my best guesstimate.
Okay, you had two other questions. One you asked about the running fiber, your other one was about TIF. So is this, we're outside of Council Bluffs 2 mile on this one, aren't we?
Yes, so if they came to us and they had TIF needs, we would work with them just like we do with the other developers and put together, some to help them out on the TIF side of things. And the part that would change versus what we're doing with the Heartland development over there is since a portion of Heartland's property falls within that 2 mile jurisdiction, we have to have the joint agreement with the city. On this property here, we would not have that step in the process where there was no joint agreement needed. So this would just be a developer's agreement between the Board of Supervisors and them, along with the establishment of an urban renewal plan for this piece of ground, and then work out, kind of what the costs are, what the payback period looks like, what are we going to do with our LMI holdover that we have to have.
And it all hinges on us
There was a
funding
development.
the water line, correct?
It'd be funding of the water. It kind of helps justify funding of the water line and paving of 240th Street. Because if the supervisors are looking for a good reason to say why we're paving this road, this is more than a good enough reason to put that infrastructure into place. And then that water line just allows us to have a little bit denser housing in that area.
The only other little concern I'd have, just because the number of homes going in here, I grew up, this full disclosure, I grew up off Woodland Trail, so I was right on the other side of Dumfries. I could foresee a lot of folks taking Dumfries to go down to hit, to get to the southern, towards Google, or toward, Pony, that area. There's a way to get down to Applewood Road, winding down those roads, so I think we need to be mindful of that stretch of Dumfries too, It's gonna increase a bit of traffic on that gravel road. I don't know, John, if you have any concern with that at all or not.
Yeah.
Because you're talking, what is that, a mile, maybe a mile stretch from there?
About right, yeah. That would probably increase in traffic too.
So would the water come through here before it gets to the Heartland development?
They would tap on before the Heartland development. I mean,
From the south.
the water line
Water's
would,
coming out of the south.
well, yeah, it's coming out of the south up 240th Street down Pioneer Trail. So
Matt, where would the water be coming from?
it's coming from Mills County. Rural Water has mapped out a southern route, so I'm not sure if it's coming on their map, they just show the Mills County line and the water line coming up. I don't know if it's coming out of the Lake Ohana area or if it's coming out of Silver City area up to this, but that's kind of what Rural Water is looking at right now.
But it's basically the 240th Street sector, right, as far as
Yes,
straight shot.
straight shot.
Okay.
And then we don't have really any concerns about, we have the right of way and all that stuff to run that water line, don't we?
Right, because if, part of it if they do it in conjunction with the reconstruction of 240th Street, maybe Rural Water would choose at that time to run within the road right away. But the majority of what Rural Water does is they just gain easements and run through fields. So they're gonna run through just off of the road right away, run through the field up.
Is there gonna be any concern with the, go ahead, sorry.
Parallel to the road,
Yes.
all the way up.
Mhm.
So I see you sectored it out, but right there on the corner of Pioneer Trail, heading, like if you're driving Pioneer Trail back to Council Bluffs in the corner there, 240th and Pioneer Trail, there's a, I don't know if
It's a Mormon Trail monument.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's why that corner is kind of sectioned out the way it is and where the entrance is, because that monument sits in there.
Are you gonna put fencing up or something, or how?
Honestly, we haven't got that far, or haven't discussed that, so. I've read the sign, but I haven't done anything more than that.
Yeah. Bob Schultz across the street.
Mark Shoemaker's got a lot more information on what the restrictions and things are with that piece. I think he was involved with it from the start.
Jim, what's your time frame on this project if we were to run water?
Well, I think we're kind of up to what you guys are got going. I don't know when you guys plan on paving 240th Street, but you're saying the water would come from Mills County?
Mhm.
Oh, rural water?
Yes.
So those wells are at Pacific Junction. Okay, so I didn't realize that. So I would assume if we're running water out there and paving it, it's probably gonna take a year to get that done, isn't it?
Probably.
Yep.
So.
I haven't had any conversations with rural water, and I don't know that the board has, but it sounded like they were ready to go.
It'd be a year, so spring of 2022, which falls right in line with what the developers out there are looking at for the start of their housing out on that side. They felt like they could easily meet that timeline coming from the south.
Do you have any idea what your interior costs are right now with this plan?
We do not. I don't think, do we, John? No.
You mentioned that you would be open for a TIF project,
Correct.
so this board member wouldn't have any issues with something like that. I mean, we've got a lot of agreements to come put together before we get to that point, but if we were to run water down 240th Street, I think we'd require all of these lots to sign on and hook up to rural water. And I think the initial cost on that was like $3,500 a tap fee. Is that correct, man?
That's what their rural water's looking at, $3,500 for a tap fee per lot, yeah.
Do we have ordinance that they must hook the water?
Yeah, we discussed that last Tuesday as well. It's
Okay.
in the subdivision ordinance that if the municipal water is available, that they should
Okay.
design to it and hook to it.
Well, I think the flip side of that, of what you're asking, Tim, is that to put a well in, you're doubling that cost, really. So, I mean, it's to their advantage to do that. You know, obviously you gotta pay for the water each month going forward, but
As a builder, the $3,500 tap fee seems very fair.
would you build that into just your lot cost center or something, or?
No,
Itemize it out.
it'd be built into the house cost, it wouldn't be the lot cost, but when I'm developing or putting the price together on a house, I mean, I'd put that $3,500 fee in. The fee ranges, I mean, you can go down to Shenandoah, Iowa, and it's $0. You go to Malvern, Iowa, it's $700. You can go to Glenwood, it's $5,000. It's just different everywhere.
Yeah.
But the $3,500 fee seems awful fair. And when I say Glenwood, there's different prices depending on what water line that you're hooking onto and who's paid for it, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, with the discussion we've had so far, is that we would make a loan to rural water.
Okay.
And they're gonna pay us back by using that tap fee.
Okay.
So, let's just say that you have 82 lots in this subdivision, right?
99.
99.
Oh, it says 82 right up here, 82 lots.
Well, there's 17 in red that we could do, per the rule, as I understand it, we could break off 17 lots and not do a subdivision. And then, once we did those 17 lots in red, then we'd have to start our housing subdivision. But with the information that we've received today, you're now talking about paving 240th Street, which we didn't know that coming into this. And it sounds like there's a strong possibility that rural water's coming. it might be my advice to go back to John and say, let's redraw these lots with the information that, hey, we've got a paved road on 240th Street now we can get out of. We're gonna have city water, our lots can be made smaller and relook at the project and end up with maybe a better design and more lots. Do you agree with that, John?
Yes, certainly.
So,
Matt, you've talked to Glenwood about running the water in Mills County.
Right, rural waters had,
GMU.
yeah, rural waters had the discussion with them, and they're just, right now, they're negotiating what the cost is gonna be for their tap-on fee down there, cause they had one tap left with them, but there was a fee associated with it, and so they were trying to work out what that cost was gonna be.
It sounds like rural water is a different entity than Glenwood Municipality Water is what you're saying, is that correct? Okay.
So even up here in Council Bluffs has Council Bluffs Waterworks that extends out into rural Pot County and some of their lines. And then we have Rural Water, which is a separate entity, and they're based out of just north of Avoca up there. And there's an agreement of water districts between Council Bluffs Waterworks and Rural Water. And these housing additions fall on Rural Water's area that they can serve. So they've been negotiating, they do supply some of their own water up around the Avoca area, but they buy water from Council Bluffs to support Bentry. And then they're gonna buy water from Glenwood to support this up here.
Okay, so the district that would be supplying the water is out of Avoca then?
Yes.
Okay, but they'd be buying water from, from.
Correct.
Okay.
Matt, what size line would that be? Do you have any idea?
I believe what they're proposing right now is an 8-inch line.
How much more homes will that supply if we're?
Well, they said initially, they felt confident that running it up through here would support these two here. Now, when we had talks with them before, and we talked about the difference between their 8-inch line and their 10-inch line and what they could do with it, it varied from 800 homes to 1,600 homes that they felt like they could support off of those lines. So right now, what the answer is, that they've given us is that, yeah, it will would support these two housing subdivisions that they have. And then their goal is to run the line all the way up 240th Street to Highway 92, possibly to Greenview Road.
Which tells me they can obviously handle a lot more.
Right.
Because they're intending to hook on more, so.
And this board being asked to supply it to, how far up?
My recommendation, the loan we'd have to give them was 1.29 million. We get it from Mills County line to Highway 92, up 240th Street.
No, it would get them, that 1.29 million would get them Pioneer Trail, these two housing subdivisions.
Okay.
If the Board of Supervisors wanted to allow them the funds to go on, all the way to Greenview Road, that cost is 2.25 million.
Yeah, I'm hesitant on that just because the farmers that own that land right now are not.
That would be my suggestion.
I talked to Fred Miller, for example, and his son's taking over the whole operation when he's done, and it's.
I would suggest you just, for now, you stop here. If more interest peaks, then it's another conversation and it's an extension of a water line. Yes.
Going to 92.
It's too big of a bet to go further.
So would it be basically, Mark or Jim, would you be selling lots to builders? Or would you have a hybrid combination of both, or?
That's a good question. The two lots across the road, we sold those, so whoever wants to buy those can buy those 19-acre lots. In the past, it's been our experience, a lot of our additions, we have kept the lots, built our own houses and sold them. With this big of addition, I don't know if we have that exact answer right now.
Okay.
If I was to be honest with you on my hope would be that I get to build them all and build every house in there, but I don't know if that's realistic or not.
Yeah.
But I think it's too early for us to answer that exactly, so.
Okay.
A lot has just changed in this meeting, again, with the paved road and the water
That's why
coming.
we wanted to
Yeah.
get, get you, I guess, here
Yeah.
kind of face to face and make sure everybody was singing off the same sheet of music.
It's really exciting, first of all, that you asked us to come, and second of all, that you guys are so proactive in this situation. I mean, we're just not used to that, so thank you.
Yeah.
Mark, if you took a look at this and said, let's redesign this and make the lots a little smaller, is it realistic to say there might be another 50 lots here?
I would think 150 would be my quick guess.
So if we were to agree on a TIF project with you, you know, there's a certain period of time when that TIF has to be paid off. And as it progresses through, I think the board would probably require a commitment from you guys that if you don't fill the homes and the tax isn't there, you're gonna pick up the cost.
Correct.
Is that what you're thinking?
It's what we're used to.
Okay. Well, so if you were to build them all the houses, how long would it take would you estimate to fill 150 lots?
Well, and my father can correct me if I'm wrong, I think a current TIF project that we just entered in Glenwood, it's 15 years they gave us.
Correct.
I think 10 has been the past that we've always dealt with, but the company that we're dealing with now, or however it's working, has extended it to 15 years. You know, you just kind of never know on timing. I mean, back around 2008, we installed 2 new additions in Glenwood. One was 26 lots and one was 62 lots, and then 72. And then, you know, the economy changed, and you just never know what the economy is going to do. And during the slower economy, we didn't get to build as many houses. When things changed, we ended up filling it up quickly. But, you know, I would say a 10-year project is what I would estimate 150 lots to be. But
We'd probably do it in phases, so in other words, we probably wouldn't want to develop 150 lots at one time, I don't think. I don't know if we're that big.
Yeah.
So we'd probably.
If the market stays the same, they'd go quick, wouldn't they?
Well, yes.
And we know how that goes
yeah, the demand seems high at the moment.
right now.
You know,
But also, the material costs are extremely high right now too. That's probably gonna be a factor. I mean, there's gonna be some people over this next year that I meet with to build houses. It's just not gonna financially work with the current costs. I mean, lumber has doubled, which is a factor, and people can only afford so much. But I know it's a project I'm extremely excited about. I know it went well when we built houses south of Lewis Central Schools. I think the demand will be high, and look forward to working on it.
But Tim, we don't want to tell you we can do more than we think we can do. I mean, we want to be realistic. We don't want to go broke.
You will put the streets in to begin with.
We'll probably do it in phases.
So kind of like they do, like Forest Glen did that, they just,
Mhm.
they
And
get a section down, open up another road.
And we're not, and I don't know if you had this discussion or not, but we're not doing curb and gutter.
Okay.
We're not, you know, we're doing, I don't know what the proper word is for it.
No sidewalks?
No.
Usually not in a rural addition, you normally don't have sidewalks.
Yeah.
What is
They're
that,
just
flat
Just the ditch and drainage.
ditch and,
So there's an existing ditch there, you know, like on your
We're
Now,
gonna,
how-
we're gonna get in trouble like we did down there in that other development down in, off of the trail. A lot of silt coming down. Stony Brook had that issue years ago, because they started developing on the bottom first, and then when they went
Yeah,
up.
this is relatively,
Up the
it's not
hill.
flat, but it's pretty relatively flat.
I've never seen it. so,
Yeah, no,
you
it's,
know.
I hunted the ditch, I used to
Beautiful
hunt that
piece of
ditch all the
ground.
time.
so how, are you guys, does the trail come by you two then?
Right there, it would be the southwest corner
Okay.
of it.
You just gotta cross the road or?
Yeah.
Right there.
That's that, it used to be that old wooden bridge, now it's that tunnel.
Okay.
Do you do silt basing on this for during construction?
It'd be what John at HGM draws up.
So that'd be up to DNR, correct?
Right. And we'd have to do something with it, yeah.
It's a relatively flat, it's basically the hilltop, if you go up Pioneer Trails, it's the top of the hill.
When's your proposed start date to pave 240th Street?
Well, I think a lot of that answer hinges on whether or not we can get you guys to go commit to it, so.
Okay.
It's kind of those deals where, you know, if we can get you to agree to move forward with something like that, which obviously you're depending on us as well, so I mean, I think it's highly likely that we want to do it, it's just. John, how many miles, have you checked to see how many miles it is from the county line?
It's running 5, isn't it?
I think that's.
Just looking at my phone, trying to figure it out, that was
So we're
about
running
5.
about 7 or 8 miles of water line?
Yeah. What kind of money does that take to pave that, or at least put it to the type of road that would allow?
Just to Pioneer Trail?
Just to Pioneer Trail,
From the
yeah.
Mills County line to Pioneer Trail?
Yeah, I don't think we go further north,
Not
or, yeah, north at this point. I just don't, physically talk to the landowners over
How
there.
far would that be, John?
We're talking about the water line,
Oh, I'm talking about 240th Street from Pioneer Trail to the county line.
That's your 5 miles.
you're not gonna pave it all the way to 92? You're just- Okay.
Well, I
Really,
don't know, maybe,
I think we should,
maybe we
I
should.
really do.
I guess for the traffic side of things, that might be important.
I'm concerned about the traffic. You're gonna put a lot of cars on, Pioneer Trail, a whole lot.
It was our understanding coming here today that you was gonna pave from 92 down to Pioneer Trail.
Yeah, I think you're right, we did talk that before.
Yeah, we did,
You're right.
instead of to the county line.
I think it's like 7 miles, but I don't know. Like the whole stretch.
7, 8.
Yeah,
Which is true, which is
But,
okay.
you know, basically, you guys have thrown a lot at us today. You know, we weren't aware of the water, where it was even coming. We weren't aware of 240th Street being paved. We kind of had a map of the lots in red, and up at the corner of Dumfries and Pioneer Trail, what my idea was, you know, that area would be maybe the first phase, due to that was the only place we could get a road coming in. Now that you got a road coming in off 240th Street that's gonna be paved, I think we need to sit back down with John and, come up with a game plan, but.
John Rasmussen, will you look into the cost of that, turn lane
You sure you didn't want
down on
to
Law Bench?
Sure. You're not gonna let that go, are you?
No, because you guys, that's, right now, it's even crazy at that intersection. I feel that we need to address that. I'm not against this, I'm really for this, but I do think that's a very big issue of mine.
Yeah, we'll have to get some
Big
counts.
concern.
We'll have to get traffic counts on it.
John, what's it cost to asphalt a road per mile? New asphalt?
I don't know if there's any grading gonna be required on this, is the tough
Okay,
question.
ballpark.
Ballpark, you're probably between 600,000 and $1 million, depending on what work you gotta do.
Per mile?
Yeah, it's
Okay,
just a wag.
so what's, off the top of your head, what's cement?
Probably in the same area.
Less maintenance?
I don't know if I agree with that, but I think I've had better looking asphalt than I have concrete. But
There we go, satellite. You see it up there? Here's 240.
Make it a little bigger, would you, Justin?
Well,
So John, if you took a look at Aspen Road,
here's there.
John, Aspen Road to 200, or to Highway 92 is how far?
Where's Aspen Road?
it's on the south end of that
Right.
road.
See my
Okay.
mouse? This is
Alright.
Aspen Road right here.
That'd be good.
So that'd be the south side of their addition,
I
so you're
like that.
talking,
1, 2,
5,
is that 3.5 miles? Just
I'd
trying
say
to
it's,
count,
I'd say it's close.
trying to count the sections there.
3, 4, 5,
6,
6.
could be 6 to 7 in there. I mean, you could,
Those are quarters, I think. Twos.
so you think it's about, I thought it was like,
Well, the first gravel should be a mile, so those, I think those are 40s.
This Pioneer Trail, is it paved right to 240th Street?
yeah, it stops right in the corner.
Okay, I-
Yep.
okay.
So how many miles is it? Did you figure that?
6 is what we said, wasn't
Well, there's, I don't, is there a way to
it?
measure?
If
on
we were
here?
to go past it, Tim.
Here, let's go from Handwright's house to, let's do this. Hold on, give me 1 second, guys.
You got on Clark County GIS, you could probably
Just measure.
Jim Hughes, are you guys currently building an addition right now in Mills County?
We have 2 additions going right now that are, one of them we're ready to start building in. It's low to moderate housing in that addition. And we have another 27 lot subdivision out by the Catholic Church. They're just east of the new high school.
Okay,
And it's John's working on that with us, it's 1/3 paved.
I've got a question, and I don't
Pull it
know
up when
who
you're
I'm
talking.
asking here.
Do you know how to do it?
But when we tip something, don't we have to do a
I got it.
certain LMI?
So it's right there.
I think, depends on, I think in the low to moderate area, yes, but I think if you TIF,
Well, that includes,
there's
that
probably
includes the
different ways of doing
Aspen
that.
and Dumfries.
We fund our own, and if we don't produce the product, we don't get paid. We've got a little different program on the area out there by the new high school because of the flood.
Okay,
So it's a TIF, but it's a 75-25 with the city,
all right.
so.
It's 2.6 to Pioneer Trail, and then you add on.
21 lot subdivision is 100%.
And that'd
Not
be,
even a mile.
that'd be a
No,
question
it's
for the
Yeah,
bonding attorney.
You're talking maybe
Correct.
3
Okay,
we normally use Bob Jostin.
3 miles,
I don't know.
because you're talking, oh gosh darn it. So you're talking 2.5 to get, well, just right at 2.5 to get to Pioneer Trail, and then 3.1 miles to get to the corner where Aspen is. If you pave the inside of that whole thing, which you would cut off the Pioneer Trail section, but.
So 3 miles,
3 miles.
3 times 8.
So you're talking basically a $3 million investment for us.
$3 million for roads and 1.3 for water.
Yeah, we get water back eventually.
100 years from
Not 100 years. I think it'd be, well, and actually with if you were to add another 50 homes, I mean, I think it'd be a lot quicker, obviously. Okay, cool.
Well, if they were to put 150 homes
Thanks.
in here, and we got another 100 over there, that's 250. At $3,500 a lot, 750. They just about give us our money back.
Well, A
lot of it.
I don't know, I guess, I think people would be really receptive to having water rather than the wells and all the stuff that goes with trying to get that. Softener, osmosis, or whatever, all those things, and there's a cost of doing that and ongoing cost of maintaining those.
I think it's the perfect compromise. You're gonna get a kind of a country neighborhood. You get that country feel, and then you're gonna have city water. So I mean,
Yeah.
people like my wife would be super happy to have water that's not messing her hair up, and I obviously don't have that issue. But, you know, I think it's a good, worthwhile venture. So I mean,
One question, rural water would bring up the water through, or 240 is to Pioneer Trail and then Pioneer Trail. But all the water main on site would be the developer's responsibility, and it would be to rural water standards and wouldn't be part of the TIF because obviously, or would it be?
It would be, it would be. The water lines inside the subdivision would be part of the TIF.
Even though that's not, it's a separate entity.
We have to pay for the water lines inside.
The main water line that runs around the neighborhood can be included in the TIF. The individual connections to the house
Right.
are not.
Right.
So, yeah, the main water line is usually put in there with that.
The one question I would have, like, we're going back to the drawing board with changes. We now know that Pioneer Trail and 240th Street look like they'd be paved. Already Pioneer Trails are paved. But I saw you draw all the way around the addition, and I think that's important information for John when he's working on it, what he needs to be looking at for driveways.
yeah. I mean, in my dream world, I'd pave Dumfries all the way to Woodland Trail, but I don't know if we're gonna do that or not.
That wouldn't benefit this addition.
The only benefit it would give is if we pull some traffic off off of Pioneer Trail. 'Cause people, rather than going 92 or taking Pioneer Trail up to 92, they'd go the other direction.
Now, the tip would be a 10-year deal, correct?
I think you'd need at least 15.
Yeah, we'd have to see what the,
I
I
think.
mean, if it goes sooner, it goes sooner, but.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously a better deal, the quicker you build them.
Yeah.
So what we talked to the attorneys about on the other ones before is you start them with that 10-year, and then there's that potential extension up to
Right.
5 years. So at least that's what we did on the last one.
Okay.
We're working
All right.
towards.
Wouldn't the paving end at the south entrance to the subdivision, or would it go to Aspen Road? I think that'll be important on how the
Where
roads
is
get
the
drawn.
south entrance?
Well, it's gonna be to be determined yet, but I think that would provide a lot of direction to the designer, I guess, as far as where the
Oh, I
paving's
see.
gonna end.
Right. Mostly the south entrance.
See, if I knew what that farmer on the south side of Aspen Road was gonna do, I think that would help us answer your question a little better, you know? Cause I don't know if the Brants, I don't know if that was theirs either. Cause the sisters held on to some of the farm. There's Scoop and then the two sisters, and each of them held on to parts of that farm, so I don't know. But like, you know, for example, if that was open, it'd make more sense to pave Aspen too. 'Cause
It would, if there was a entrance back down here, but there's a ditch there.
So here, if you ever, you should drive over and check it out, but this is where the tunnel is under the
I've been
Wabash.
there here about a week ago.
And then old, you know, Margaritaville's like right here.
Right.
So,
Are you going to have an entrance off Dumfries?
It's gravel.
it's gravel.
I understand.
If it was paved, it'd make sense to you, right?
Well,
John would have to answer those questions, he's the one that made the map in the first place.
Yeah, because currently we're only showing one entrance off Pioneer Trail for 99 lots, so yes, a second entrance would be ideal.
Well, I think you'd do one on Pioneer and one on 240th, I mean, if it were me.
this would be,
If
we
this
may
was
be
paved-
conducive to running them up to 92 at that point. If we,
I mean, I'll tell you, me personally, if we're not gonna pave Dumfries all the way to Woodland Trail, then I don't have any interest in
don't do
paving.
that, yeah.
But
But if we put one off 240th Street, it might be easier for them to run up to 92 for.
oh yeah, it will. If that, we need to do that.
If we do it here, 99% of our traffic's going that way.
Right, but if you
On
pave
Pioneer.
240th, this is gonna pull, because to Matt's point about this side of 240th is all Trainer School District.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these folks are gonna still wanna go to Trainer, and I'm willing to bet that the school districts will make some agreements to let a bus or something go down there, but they'll take 240th up to 92. A lot of people do that anyway, because you avoid all the Lewis Central traffic, you know, when you get to the stoplights down
Justin, are
there.
you saying on the other side of 240th Street's trainer schools?
Yeah.
Okay. I can tell you in Mills County, I've had that same situation between Glenwood and Malvern. And if the bus drove by there on the road, they'd stop and pick up the kids, is what they did down in Glenwood. So I built an addition that was in the East Mills, which is Malvern. And the majority of the kids ended up going to Glenwood. The bus was on that route and didn't have to make a new route, and they picked them up and took them.
Yeah, this is like the no man's land.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, because it's where they border, because some of my classmates growing up, they actually lived on the other side, and Lewis Central picked them up, but yeah, I think you're right, I think. But I also think it's gonna change the dynamics down here too. So I think once we get your neighborhood, get the Heartland's neighborhood in down there, I think that's gonna open up another sector of development, and I think some of the farmers that are at the end of their careers, you know, are saying, well, my kids all hate each other, let's turn this into something, you know, I mean, that's kind of what happened with the one you just bought, so.
Sell one farm and go buy two more, you know.
Or, yeah.
So basically, it sounds like we probably need to go back to the drawing board and maybe come back and meet, maybe a couple weeks or something, get back on the agenda with maybe another map or a concept.
however long it takes John to do that, so.
John will have them costs figured out, the left-hand turn lane by then.
Yeah.
I think you're already there, John, honestly, I think you just had to make a couple adjustments.
He'll have to look her over, dude.
Go get yourself a 5-gallon bucket of paint one on there.
That's what I'm saying, it's like almost wide enough you could do that.
Okay, Matt.
Well, you gotta have stacking
See
lanes.
where we're at with rural water and give us an update on when we can start that, when we're ready to go.
Rural Water can come in and talk to you next week and give you a presentation. Their engineers and Rural Water wanted to come in and speak with you, so we can notify them, have them in here next week. They can give you their proposal and what they're doing. Pam and I are still trying to work out how that contract looks as far as the repayment wise for you all to look at. I know we have, I think we have some phone calls coming up, so.
With Dorsey and Whitney, or?
Yes.
No, I see, right?
We're almost there.
Well, I'm glad you're willing to give us an opportunity
Here's the
to
highway.
put some stuff together and maybe make a better.
No, that's Pioneer
I
Trail,
shouldn't say
I'm
better.
worried about this highway.
Maybe a
Wabash.
different approach to that piece
I'm talking
of ground, and maybe a few extra
Wabash.
lots and increase the tax value of Potawatomi County, and hang in there with us, we're gonna get there.
Thank you, you guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
John, you do know I'm talking, turning left off Wabash, right? Yeah, okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks again.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Matt.
Good seeing you guys.
You got any questions, go ahead and give us a call.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So John, other John, is leaving, sorry. So how long does it take to draw something like this up? Like how long does it take you to do the, typically?
That concept is a couple weeks.
Okay.
Cool. And now we've got 2 ways to ingress and egress. So it kinda helps.
Yeah, definitely. Cool, thank you.
Is all that serviced by,
He's gotta be related to, anyway, is that serviced by who?
Lewis Township,
Yes.
is it?
Fire department, yeah.
Lewis Township, and I'm sure, Trainer probably comes over
Does
too.
Mineola got anything down there?
They do have a volunteer fire department.
Do they?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it'd be all in the, is it all in the same township?
It's all in Lewis too, so yeah, it's all.
Okay.
Matt, did you see what's coming up next on the agenda, SWIPCO? Doesn't have anything to do with the Potawatomi County Housing Trust, right?
No, it shouldn't.
No.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve the funding request from
I'll
Southwest.
second it.
Okay, we are at. Funding request for,
SWIPCO,
Swift.
$11,716.
Yeah.
I can tell you that they've done a really good job here as of lately. I mean, they've really stepped up in helping us with that Test Iowa site, and then at our clinics, they brought their SWITA buses down, and we're running little shuttle buses through the parking lot, picking up people, bringing them right up to the front door, so.
Supervisor Shea seconded. This is a per population number, and it's been the same ever since I've been here, so. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes.
I'll make a motion to approve the funding request from Southwest Iowa Transit.
I'll
SWITA,
second.
for $6,000.
Okay, motion by Supervisor Whitman, seconded by Supervisor Shea. And this one is just a straight,
6,000.
like a membership one, and I think all the counties pay for this, amount, and I think it's the same as last year, isn't it, Becky?
It is.
Yes, it
Yes.
is. Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Like sign, opposed, hearing none, motion passes.
Scott?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve the funding request from Hungry Canyons Alliance for the
4,500.
amount of 4,500.
I'll do that. Second?
Okay. Wickman. Second by Supervisor Shea. Any discussion?
Thank you.
Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes. Okay, now to set the time and date for fiscal year budget, 2022 budget meeting.
Can we do that next week,
March 30th, please?
March 30th?
Right, no sense waiting to the last minute. Did you need a motion for that? Did you make that motion, Brian?
I did not, I just asked the date. I'll make a motion for the 30th.
At 10 bells?
Are you
10
doing
o'clock.
it at 10?
10
In the
o'clock,
past, you've
10
always
a.m.
done a
Pardon me?
nighttime. In the past, you've done an evening.
Yeah, but that was before we had this and no one shows up.
Okay, so 10?
Yeah, 10 a.m. 's fine.
COVID.
Cool.
I've been
Did you
to
get a
quite a
second?
few of those meetings where no one
So
shows up.
motion made by Shea,
Yeah,
Yep.
wait a minute, a second.
second by Wickman at, March 30,
March 30th at 10 o'clock.
10 a.m. Okay. Any, this don't need a roll call or anything, right? Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes. Okay,
You asked to push that one back, right?
yeah,
Pushing that one back till
So,
next meeting, did you say?
no, probably either on the
Okay.
23rd or the 30th, whatever.
so I'll skip into the next one. I'll make the motion to approve, education reimbursement for Megan, is it Leggett?
Okay,
Second, I'd like to discuss that just for a second.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, that's in our policy. You know, in the past, all we've really done is the chairman signed that educational reimbursement form. It wasn't really an agenda item. I'd like the board to consider moving back to that, just having the chairman sign the educational reimbursement instead of making it a board agenda item, because that's part of our policy. So if they
employee policy?
yes, if their schooling matches the, what we provide our employees, they get the benefit.
That's fine with me.
So it's not like we can do approve or deny. If it fits the case, the education's approved.
Okay, my question is, does this come out of our budget or their budget?
Comes out of ours.
And you're saying if,
It's like
then it'd
$1,300.
be out of there.
I think we have a line item in the budget. I think it's in the general supplemental. Am I halfway correct here, Melvin?
I don't know if it would be in the supplemental or not, but it's
It's in the.
very seldom used.
There's a line item for it,
Yeah.
and we've never come close to exceeding it,
No.
not even remotely. It's like,
I just don't make it, I don't wanna make it,
$1,100.
an issue that, you know, we have to put it on the board's agenda and approve it. I mean, it's not like we're hiding any funding, because every check that goes out has the person's name on it, who it goes to, and then it's provided to the newspapers and gets published every month. So it's still gonna be there. I just don't think we need to make a big deal about it.
Yeah,
I agree.
I don't know if it, because I don't have the employee policy and Jan's not in here right now. If it says it needs board approval in our, employee policy or not. I mean, if it doesn't, I'm totally fine with it.
I used it, and at the time that I used it, I had to have Tim sign it. I think it says chairman even on our policy,
I believe so.
Okay.
so.
Okay,
We can
so
just
we'll take a look at that.
Yeah, we'll just get a double check
Yeah.
and see. Yeah,
All right,
okay,
I'm good with that.
okay.
Oh, and just so you know, they only are able to take advantage of that once per fiscal year,
Okay,
so.
all right.
Okay, so now we're gonna go into, closed session,
Are we?
aren't we?
Yeah, can we take like a 5-minute break real quick?
Sure. Take a recess for
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Matt's gonna come down to cover closed session, and he already knows that you guys are about ready for it.
Okay.
I'll see you guys next week.
See you, Leanne.
Okay.